top red flags when you're looking for a rental applicant. These things can sometimes be hilarious, but it's not hilarious if somebody who says one of these red flags to you ends up renting from you and you end up needing to evict them. That's an expensive problem. So that's what these red flags are for. They're to alert you that this person might not be the best person to rent to. It's not 100%, but it's probably more than 90%. And at the very end, I'm going to let you know the number one reason. The last one is the most important one. It's my favorite by far. My name is Rich Carey from Rich on Money. I'm a real estate investor, property manager, and realtor. And I want to clarify something. You don't deny someone's application because they have one of these 5 red flags that I'm going to list today. You deny someone's application for not meeting your legal rental criteria. And my last video was about this. My criteria for renting out to people is 3 times the rent is income, good prior rental reference, at least a 600 credit score. No evictions, no felonies, no bankruptcies, no exceptions. But when somebody says one of these red flags to you, your spidey sense should go up and you should know that they're probably going to have a big problem with these rental criteria. They're probably going to miss them somewhere. So just expect that. Diving right into this, number 1. I can pay the whole lease up front. They offer to pay several months, 6 months, or the whole lease all at the same time. When I give people this advice, they're kind of like, wait a second, if they're going to give me that money, I'm going to take it. Why should you care what they do once they've paid the entire lease? Look, I care a lot. There are a lot of problems that can happen in your property besides getting your money. There can be criminal stuff going on. Like they could be hard on the place, destroy it. They could have too many people living there. A myriad of things. The main problem is usually when people offer to pay several months up front, they're hoping that you'll understand the trade they're trying to make. I'm going to give you your money up front, but you're not going to ask a bunch of questions about my background. You're not going to look too hard into my finances. Just take your money and shut up. Not this guy. It's a big problem. It doesn't work well. Don't do it. Number 2, when can I move in? I need to move in today. Can I move in tomorrow? Look, sometimes I've heard of them having like a U-Haul truck parked across the street and saying, I'm standing here with the cash to move in. This is a big red flag. Why do they want to move in so quickly? What's the rush? The average normal person plans ahead for a move like this. Their lease is ending in 2 months. They've given 30 days notice. They start looking for new properties. They tell you what day they're going to move in the future. There's time to take care of all the little details. These people, for whatever reason, are probably being thrown out of some place and have like nowhere to sleep that night. Some chaotic thing is going on in their life. And if you let them move into your place, they bring that chaos from wherever they are to your front step. Ask me how I know. By the way, disclaimer, I've fallen for all these in the past and I've learned from experience, mostly from using my pocketbook to fix these problems. So I'm staying away from that one as well. Number 3, this one's kind of weird. Some of you will be surprised. I've been living in a motel. It's really expensive. I need to move into a normal place. There's something about people living in motels that's just a red flag. I don't have anything against motels, right? I mean, certainly you could be like in the military or you could be like in between houses and you stay at a hotel until you transition into your new place. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about like kind of like seedy by the week motels that are shady and have a lot of like bad elements, bad stuff going on there. And people are living there for weeks or months. Why do they live in motels? None of their friends, none of their family will let them stay with them because of what's going on in their lives. They've probably been evicted. They've probably been thrown out. They probably have criminal issues. I don't know what it is, but when I have helped somebody out who lives in a motel, I've lived to regret it. Number 4, and I kind of got 2 different ways to word this one. I need to get away from an abusive situation. Now, there's this abusive situation going on and I need a safe place to stay. That's a red flag. I've heard it before. A variation of this, the place I live now is so dangerous. There's so much crime here. There's shootings all the time. There's always bad people around. Seems like it'd be kind of cool to let somebody move from this bad situation, move into your place and get away from all this chaos. But that's not what ends up happening. What ends up happening is whatever chaos they had over there, if they move into your place, it just simply moves with them because a lot of times that chaos is centered around their significant other, right? Their boyfriend, their girlfriend, their family members, their friends. When they move, those people show up too, and all those problems come with them, and they're your problems now. They often end up not paying rent. They often end up having arrest issues with the police, issues with the neighbors, and they just cause problems. It's just weird. I'm not saying you deny somebody for saying this. I'm saying that when somebody mentions one of these red flags, spidey senses go up because I've seen this before and you probably will too. And these red flags, don't just take it from me. Any experienced landlord, experienced property manager, they've heard these too. And if you've heard more, please drop it in the comments. Oh man, I've gotten to my number 1. And here's the last one that I was talking about earlier. Number 5. If you'll just give me a chance. Oh, if I could count the number of times people have said that to me. When somebody says, if you'll just give me a chance, what they're communicating to you is, I know that my life is a mess. I know that I look horrible on paper. I know that my credit score is bad. I have evictions. I have felonies. I have bankruptcies, whatever it is, they know. They've been through this before, but they're looking for someone with a soft heart who wants to use his gift of having a rental home to help one in need. It's like such a beautiful thing. And if you've got a bunch of extra money, I recommend to go ahead and do it, as long as you don't mind losing a lot of money and gaining a lot of problems. But if you're running a business and you're trying to avoid big problems, when somebody says that, it is usually not a good thing. Again, check those criteria of yours, make sure it's all good to go, because when they say that, there's a problem. I'm going to reiterate, you don't deny someone because of these 5 red flags. They just alert you to a potential problem. Your spidey senses go off, and then you make sure you carefully check those criteria. Make sure they have the income, the credit score, the rental reference, and they don't have any bad history. I'm giving you a bonus tip today. Never rent to friends and family, okay? Aunt, uncle, mom, dad, friends and family, people from church. Big no-no. It's just very hard to enforce the rules. Are you really going to charge them a late fee? Are you really going to evict them? Are you really going to send them a letter when they break the rules? It's very tough. It puts you in an awkward position. Unless you want to give charity to your family, unless you want to make donations to friends and family that won't be paid back, just avoid this. Rich from Rich on Money. Hope you enjoyed this. Hit that like button, hit subscribe, leave me a comment. Where are you in your rental journey? Let me know how many properties, or if you're a newbie. Rich on Money, out.